morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to look at what is going on with the prices of Prismatic Evolution singles. We know the set is still largely sold out everywhere and honestly a pain to find. However, it's been out for about a month now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ridiculous pre-sale prices off. We're going to look at what's happened in the last month since it was released. And we're going to see what is happening generally to Prismatic Evolutions. And if we start off with the Eevees, a weird thing is happening. Like if we start off with Umbreon, Umbreon's about 1,500. Umbreon's a weird one because it's so expensive and so hyped and so good. Nobody really knows what to do with it. So it's been sticking at like 1,100 for a while, which is way too high, as I've explained before. Way too high for any Pokemon card that can be pulled from a pack. But we're still in that stage where this set is impossible to find. And it's Umbreon, and the hype is there. And this one, you can see it's just going up and down, you know, from 15 to 1,600. It's pretty much level. No one really knows what to do with this. But the rest of the Eevees things are kind of interesting because we've got two types of Eevee. So if we have a look at Sylveon, for instance, that is currently sitting at about $500, the second biggest card in the set, having come down from about $600 a month ago. So we'd look at this and we'd go, well, all right then, nice and simple. Umbreon's doing its own thing, but the Eeveelutions, generally speaking, they're on the way down, the prices are coming down. If we only looked at Sylveon, that would be what we'd think. But then we have a look at Espeon, and the exact opposite is happening. It started at 320 a month ago, and now it's actually up to 410. What's going on here? Well, it's actually the same thing that was going on last time we talked about this. The Eevees, there's no set pattern in terms of whether they're going up or down. They're actually all rushing towards the middle, wherever that may be. So the ones like Espeon that started off a bit too low are going up, and the ones like Sylveon that started up a bit too high are coming down. And make no mistake about it, Sylveon and Espeon are like top tier Eeveelutions, so the middle we're looking at here is somewhere around the $400 to $500 mark-ish. Because if we have a look at Leafeon, for instance, this one's coming down from about $450 to about $350. Because Leafeon is not on the same level as Sylveon and Espeon. It's just not. We know the Eeveelutions were not all made equal, so they're all basically rushing towards the middle. The thing is that the middle isn't the same for all of the Eeveelutions. It really depends how sought after, how hyped, etc. they are. Leafeon started too high and is coming down to about $350. But if we look at Flareon, Flareon's also at about $250. But it's actually come up from about $220. Now, it's weird because generally speaking, a random special illustration rare, and I'm sorry, Flareon, you're not one of the big Eevees, so you're kind of just like a random to mid to high level special illustration rare, but not a really good one. They should not be $350. But it's an Eeveelution, the set is sold out everywhere, that's kind of how we get here. So again, Flareon and Leafeon, they're actually rushing to the same place. The difference is Leafeon started off massively over, Flareon started off massively under, and they're meeting up. Glaceon's gone up from 280 to 315 at a smaller jump, but a jump nonetheless. And again, we've got the same thing going on with Flareon here, whereby it started off too low, and it's jumping up to try and match it. It's as simple as that. The value of the cards are actually pretty set, it seems, but it's just taking the market a little while to catch up. Generally speaking, your high-end Eeveelutions are up around the $400 to $500 mark. Your mid-range Eeveelutions are around about $350. And then the lower end, look at something like Vaporeon coming in at $300, but it started up above and is coming down. And Jolteon, which is coming up to 300, but actually that started low and is going up. We basically got like 3 tiers of Eevees here, and it's kind of funny because in each tier we've got some which started off way too high and are falling down to match it, and we got some that started off way too low and are coming up to match it. But either way, the result here is the same. There are basically tiers of Eevees, there is a middle they should be at, and they're all kind of adjusting. And I would expect in the not too distant future for these to level off a little bit. Can't guarantee, can't see the future, but that's why some of the Eevees are coming up and some are going down. If they're all going up or they're all going down, that's easy. But that's not what's happening here. We got some going up, some going down, and really, there is a middle, but there's different tiers, and that's where they're all heading towards. The Master Ball's a bit easier. The Master Balls are generally coming down. Your Umbreons come down from nearly 400 to 290. We're seeing this pretty much across the board with the Master Ball holos. They're just not the same. Sorry. They're not. Don't get me wrong, right? $300 for a Master Ball Umbreon is still awesome. But make no mistake about it, the Master Balls generally are coming down. This one's nice and easy. It's coming down. But there's actually another category, which is weirdly very easy, and it's the other special illustration rares. Take Ceruledge, for instance. Ceruledge a month ago was sitting at about 150-ish. It's now up at 235. And this is not like the Eevees, where some are going up and some are going down, and there is a middle, and we're just trying to find where it is. No. These ones are actually generally across the board going up. Now, what people are saying is essentially that the pull rates on these are very, very low. For what we've seen, they're not actually any worse than regular sets. However, the fact that the set as a whole is sold out is helping to perpetuate this. And what we're seeing across the board is that these special illustration rares are all pretty much jumping up very nicely. Now, some of them are kind of going a bit each way. So let's take Roaring Moon, so I can actually show you what I'm talking about. A month ago it was 195, dropped down to about 170. It's now back up to 185. No, that is not as high as it was overall, and if we just looked at a month ago and today, we'd go, oh, it's coming down. But it's not really coming down. Because what we've got here is a card where it started off way too high, dropped down moderately sharp. It's only like $25, not horrendous, but pretty sharp, and is now coming back up again. And especially for the higher end special illustration rares, you'll see some that dipped and are coming back up. But generally speaking, it's pretty clear. The non-Eevee special illustration rares in Prismatic Evolutions, they are jumping up. And they are becoming a lot more expensive. Just a quick side note, the Japanese versions of these are a lot cheaper if you're just worried about the art. But the English versions of these across the board are going up. And I do want to remind you, because I do think this is very important, don't forget that we have got a confirmed reprint coming. We know for a fact more Prismatic Evolutions is coming, and I know there are rumours floating around, because I've heard them too, that essentially that there's not going to be a reprint, and if it is, it's going to be a very small one. I don't know who's spread... Now, that's a lie. I know some of the people who are spreading these rumours. But I also know that Pokémon came out and made an explicit public statement that said they are working to reprint as quickly as possible and at maximum capacity. So we've got a really clear, unequivocal statement from Pokémon themselves, or unsubstantiated rumours. I know which one I'm going to go for, personally. And honestly, if it ends up that I'm wrong because I believed an official statement from Pokémon, I'm kind of cool with that. If it turns out that you're wrong because you believed random rumours over an official statement, that's just a bit weird. So my point is that over time, I do believe very strongly that these prices are going to come down. We're just not there yet. Take a look at Dragapult. A month ago, we're rocking about $110. Now we are all the way up at 175. And 175 for most sets would be like top tier special illustration rare territory. And yet here, we're just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. This is the 12th most expensive special illustration rare in the set, and it's up there at what would be top tier for most sets. That remains weird. Have a look at Raging Bolt, and it's not quite on the same level in terms of raw price, but we're not looking at that, we're looking at the trends, and the trend is very clear. It's gone up by like 20% in the past month. That is a significant jump. Raging Bolt is going up just like pretty much all of them. And I'm not going to show you every single card here because that's not my point, but I could show you, for instance, Palafin. Also, did anyone else import a Japanese magazine just to get a card file with this artwork on? Because I totally did, but I've not heard of many other people doing that. Does that make me a little bit excessive? I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that. But that's gone up from like $70 to $90 in the past month. And, as we go down the list of the biggest cards here, yes, they are getting, the margins are getting smaller, but it's still happening. Golden Go has jumped up from like $60, 65 really, to 72. Again, it's a small change, but it is a change nonetheless. We are still seeing it going up. Also, like this and Dragapult are among two of the very best in the set. Look how awesome this Golden Go artwork is. It's absolutely stunning, and I absolutely love it. Blood Moon Ursaluna, last special illustration rare I'm going to show you. And this one actually has done what Roaring Moon did. It did come down. It came down from somewhere in the region of 95-ish down to 70. It's now back up to 85. And yes, that is lower than it was a month ago. I'm showing you the information. I believe it. I'm literally telling you. But I'm also telling you that we are now seeing it on the up, and this is my point. The special illustration rares generally in this set are very much still going up. The Eevees are going up or down towards some random middle. We're still trying to figure out exactly where it is, but these are going up. If you want some good news, Gold Pika's coming down. It's come down from like 150 to about 95 in the past month. So that's quite nice. And like I told you, the Master Balls are coming down pretty much across the board. It is the special illustration rares really that are holding on, but they are holding on very, very well. So there we go. There's your update. There's Prismatic Evolutions. It is a weird set, and part of the weirdness here in terms of the price is really just coming from the fact that the set is sold out everywhere. And that is going to do weird things to it. But I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, over time, as things go by, we are going to see prices come down if the reprint is as it is suggested. And honestly, we've had an official statement. We got no reason to believe it won't be. For now, however, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think. So tell me in the comment section, what do you want? What have you pulled? How lucky have you gotten? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, where, like the lovely Tamberlin, for instance, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout-out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.